What's up, y'all? Enzo here. Y'all haven't seen me for a minute, I know. Been busy, but you know what? I was looking at this wonderful Sebastian Irwan design here. This is the Kobold 2. And it was my favorite. It's all wet right now, so apologies for the appearance. But it was my favorite knife. Was it my favorite knife? Walsh is behind the camera. Yeah, it was my favorite knife of 23, I think.
It may have been, yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah, you know, I like the knife a lot. And so the one thing, though, that has not grown on me is that, and you can't tell right now because, like I said, it's wet, but the color of the micarta on it is a little too kind of like pale green. I don't know, like, what kind of shade of green? It's a super pale green, almost
dingy?
like a dingy. Yeah, it's just dingy. Yeah, dingy's a word for it. It just doesn't work for me. Everything else about the knife is great, and it's comfortable micarta. But we are going to dye it, and lately I've been going through a gray thing. So I'm thinking frost gray on here. So before we get started, we got to get that pocket clip off. I'm not going to go crazy and take everything apart because honestly these days, if I want to dye something quick, I just grab it by the blade and dip it. So that's what we're going to do. But first we do need to get the pocket clip off. It's a T6 on this bad boy. This is Walsh's Kershaw little stow and go kind of thing. It's really cool, and I really need to get one because how often are you in the position of like you're flipping your knife and then you notice the pivots come loose a little bit?
Daily.
Oh yeah, and then for me, like if I'm not able to deal with it right that minute, it drives me bananas. And then it's like the first thing I have to do when I get home. So it's nice to have something like this Kershaw thing here to take it with you. All right, so let's get some water in here. We'll get the stove going. Gonna do the frost gray Rit dye here. Okay, guys. So we're good to go here on the gas stove. I'm learning every day. So we're gonna dye this thing, and like I said, I'm just keeping it simple tonight. We're gonna take it by the blade, dip it straight in, and we'll give it a minute. I'm thinking a minute. Let's do a minute.
You know, how about a minute?
How about a minute? Hey Siri, set a timer for a minute.
1 minute, counting down.
A minute it is.
I was waiting for Alexa over there to be like, who's this Siri bitch?
Who is Alexa?
I'm sorry, I meant Siri.
Who is Alexa?
Can you find me a movie, please?
Why don't you ask that bitch Alexa to find you a movie?
See, I know this is a funny way of, this looks awful funny, but just holding the knife by the blade here. But you know what, like I said, I don't feel like taking the whole knife apart right now. And honestly, I usually won't take the whole knife apart unless I'm doing a full, you know, tip to tail mod. But in this knife, I have no desire to mod it because I think it's really great as it is. Yeah, the only thing I want to change is the color, and hey, there's the timer. All right. Now it's probably not going to look like a whole lot different because we've only seen it wet. And of course, micarta wet just
Looks wet.
looks wet, yeah. Although honestly, I can already tell a bit of a difference. Let's sit in a little bit longer. Let's do another minute. Hey Siri, set a timer for another minute.
For how long?
Another minute.
Another one.
For how long?
A minute. I think I broke her.
1 minute.
Hey,
Starting
there we
now.
go. All right. Anyway, yeah, this knife is already like really excellent. I really like the knife a lot. But again, I wasn't crazy about the color. I knew I wanted the micarta, and I'm pretty sure they only had it in the green micarta or black aluminum. However, the black aluminum came with 4V blade steel, which is pretty dope. So I don't know, man. It's tough.
Well, I have a question as a layperson here.
Oh yeah.
What type of what are we dealing with here? Bearings or washers?
Bearings.
Bearings. If it was washers, say like Teflon, would dipping the Teflon into the dye cause any issues?
I've done that before, and I don't think it did.
Bearing.
Yeah, I have done that before. I remember because I had the same thought, and I took the knife apart afterward, and the dye just washed right off like it didn't do anything to the Teflon washers.
Interesting.
That don't, quote me on that. Don't go and dip a Teflon, pivoted knife And then, oh, well, Enzo said the da-da-da. I mean, that was just my one experience. So,
Yeah.
all right,
that
we're
looks
gonna.
darker.
Yeah, I think so too. I can already see it. Let's cut that off. How do we?
Other way.
You gotta go all the way around the bend.
Other way.
That feels dangerous. Oh! Gas stoves, man. They're nice. They are nice, but for me, feels dangerous. No, I'm just joking. All right, so we're gonna wash this under a cold water bath, which I don't know if that's necessary, but I've always heard you should do that. And then we'll just let it air dry, and we'll check on it in a minute. All right, y'all, we're all dyed up here in this nice, simple gray. I really like it. It's a good looking gray there. So I may, or maybe not, I may sand this back just like a little tiny bit. I've done it once before on a Kaiser T1. I dyed it. It was the same kind of dingy green. I dyed it black, sanded it back a bit, and it gave it just a little more like dimension. It looks really good. So I may do it just a tiny bit, but it looks super good as it is, so I may not. But yeah, I really like this over that stock color. Kaiser's micarta is awesome. Super comfortable. It's always great. And it always feels wonderful in hand. I do, however, find that their OD green is sometimes not so OD and more just yucky, pale green. So the gray's an improvement. I really dig it. So yeah, this is the Kaiser Cobalt 2. If you guys have any questions about the Rit dye that we did, the process, pretty straightforward. Just boil water, pour in your Rit dye, mix it up, dip your scales. That's pretty much it. Now you can do some wilder stuff. Walsh has done some wilder stuff. He's done some two-tones, he's done some fades. So if you have any questions, he'll be happy to answer those. If you have any questions for me, I'll be happy to answer them. This again was the Cobalt 2. Got any questions about this knife? I can help you. So I'll tell you what I had in the pocket today though, because this is not what I carried. Today, I carried the Cold Steel Immortal, which is awesome. I've been feeling lately like carrying a short sword around with me, and this kind of gets that vibe. It's obviously kind of based on a Gladius, and I think it just looks super cool. Designer's Mike Wallace, I think the last name's Wallace, and these are, you can't get these anymore. Even in S35, they don't make them anymore. This is one of the CTS XHP ones. If you see one of these in S35 or in XHP for 120 to 150, get it, grab it. Yeah, so love this knife, it's awesome. I also had the Rayots XOU, fun little utility gravity knife. I use this all the time at work, and it's super fidgety, super useful, really dig it. These are like at the $70 to $80 mark, anodized aluminum on the handle. And lastly, I had, it was a new one, I had the Rough Rider Granddaddy Barlow. They call this the Longfellow Granddaddy. Beautiful knife. Love the two-tone micarta. Feels very custom-y. It looks custom-y. It's something like Enrique Pena would do something like that on his customs. And they nailed it. I think it looks fantastic. So yeah, kind of a tan micarta and what they call a chili pepper micarta with their new bomb shield. I think it looks the bee's knees. The blade is a little skinnier than what you would see from GEC or Case, but again, I think it's a very attractive blade. I like it quite a lot. Love the swedge up here. Yeah, good stuff. So that's what we had today, guys. That's what I had at least. But tell us what you had with you. And again, anything you want to know, that's what the comment section's for. So hit it up. If it's your first time here, if this was in any way entertaining to you, we'd appreciate a like and a subscribe, because we're small, nobody knows who the hell we are, and we're trying to get the word out that we exist. So anyways, thanks guys, appreciate it. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you soon.